Okay, for today's class, we will be looking into how to create a puncture on a curved wall with the help of two methods. One is a hidden geometry method, and the second method is known as a surface intersection method. And then we will look into a plugin known as a 1001 bit. Okay, so this is a really useful tool when we look into architectural aspect, because this tool is it makes the architect's work really fast. Okay, so now we'll go to my SketchUp, and then if you could see, I have basically made two curved walls. Okay, with the help of the F spline to create the curved line, and then I copied it, and with the help of Curviloft, I just created the between surface and then pushed pull it. Okay, like yesterday, from the yesterday's class, what was the method? The same method I have applied here, so as to create two walls. Okay, now we will see how to create a plunger, because as you know that this normal push pull does not works in this curved surface. So what we have to do is, you can go to view, click on show hidden geometry. So you will see that a grid gets formed. So what is the speciality of this grid is that if you go inside the group, you can see that uh, each each part, or the each square box becomes a surface. Okay, if you don't put this view geometry, you will see that you will only have this surface as a single geometry. Okay, if you on this view geometry and then click on the surface, it will become individual blocks. So then what you can do is just select on each and then delete the surface, and then create a plunger like this. You can basically delete in both sides, and so as to create the plunger. Then what you can do is bring the window. This window basically was there in the warehouse, 3D warehouse. I just brought it here, and then just simply place it at this and then rotate it with the help of rotate tool. Okay, so that it gets fitted here. Okay, you can scale it down so as to make it fixed here. Okay, this is one method. The the second method is the most accurate. So that is, I'm just moving this window back. The second method is, you can keep this view geometry aside, and then what you can do is that you can go inside this component, and then the group that was formed, and then what you do is create a box over this uh, over the window that you have, and then simply make a box and take this box, make this a group, and take it to the surface, to the place where you need the plunger to be made. Okay, and you can basically keep it on that surface with the help of arrow keys, or with the help of, okay, with the help of arrow keys, you can just put it in the place where you require. And then what you need to do is select the surface, select this group, and then right click on your mouse and go to something known as intersect faces. You can click with model, and then what you can do is just delete this group that you had, and also you can see that you create two surfaces now. Okay, you will have on both sides. So you just need to delete the surface that you had, and then just place the window that you had, okay, that you already made with the help of a move tool and a rotate tool. Okay, so you just place it where you find it appropriate, and then leave it. Okay, so these are the two methods you can use to create plungers in a curved wall. Any doubts? No doubts? I'm audible, right?
Yes,
Hello.
you're audible.
Okay, fine. Then we will go on to something called 1001 bit plugin. If you don't have the plugin, if from the drive that I've told, you could have you would have downloaded that, and then you can go to view toolbar. You will find 1001 bit tool present. Okay, then you can just tick it and then close it as like normal plugins that you have already downloaded. Okay, then in this the first 16 plugins are literally we don't use it. Okay, we don't use it as such in places, but the remaining plugins are the ones that we use, and the last end may the third last and the fourth last is also not used much. Okay, the rest of the plugins are used by us. Okay, now I will go and show you what the plugins do. Okay, first plugin is known as a array, create array along a linear path. For example, if you have a line, think you have a line. Okay, in uh, you have a line and then you have a group. Let it be a rectangle column of 5000 comma 5000. Okay, sorry, let it be 500 by 500. That will be easy. 500 comma 500. 500 comma 500, enter. Okay, you got a shape, a rectangle, square, and then I'm just push pulling it and making this a group by triple clicking it, right click, make a group. Okay, now what I want is I want a array. Array means a copy of this along a straight line. Okay, so for that you can select the group. The first most important thing is any component that you want to make a array or a copy, because you can see the preview what it does. Okay, the ones that the image itself is what it is gonna do. Okay, the first one is it is gonna make it a array in a linear direction. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is, first thing that you need to do is whenever creating this is you need when you're working in 1001 bit plugin is that you need that thing to be in a group. Okay, select the group that you have made. Let it be anything, let it be a furniture, let it be um, a column or so, and then just go select the create array or group of component. Then what you do is you get such a dialog box. This dialog box, if you could see, this shows the number of entities, that is if how much number of combo or groups that you need to be made in the line that you are gonna get selected. So now it is told 10. I'm just keeping it 10. You can make it 9, you can make it 8. Number of columns or the number of groups that you need, you can select that. Then you have options here, whereas to start making the column or the edge from the end of the lines or from the midpoint of the segments. For example, what it does is that if you have a column which is to be placed 300 aside, okay, what this does is that you will have first column, then you will have 300, then you will be placing the second column, then you will have 300, then the third column will come. But once you click on this place entity on the middle of the point, means that it will create a offset first of 150 and then it will create a column, the midpoint of that, and then you will start having the repetition of 300 happening. So that is what it does. Okay, these two difference is, you guys can explore it. I will only show one method or one type. You can explore the other options of it by clicking it and then working on it. If you guys feel any doubts during working, you can just come back to me, I will solve it out. Then you will have fixed distance between the entries. The distance between two components out here, what will be the distance is to be mentioned here, how much you want. Let it be 300, let it be 500. Now I have taken a column of 500 distance, so I just want it to be like let it be 5000. Okay, not 5000, let it be 1000. Okay, and then what it to be done is you can have different options. One is start from the middle of the entity. That is, if you have a line, this will start placing the objects from the middle. Okay, then you have options to set from the middle offsetting. Okay, you will have a space in the middle. You can see the preview what it does. Okay, similarly you have set out from the start point. From the start point itself you will get the object. Then you will have you check this too as well. Distance are measured horizontally and entries are bottomly aligned on the path, so that it basically aligns with the path that you select. Okay, you can either click on any one, evenly distribute the entities, or fixed distance, okay, between the entities. There are two options out here, or you can opt for the first option. Okay, there are three options out here: number of entities, fixed distance between the entities, and evenly to distribute it. Okay, now if I am selecting the first option, the 10 means it will be 10 getting placed. Then you can basically give the distance between them, and the third will be that it will evenly place it in between. Okay, you can try this option. I will create one, and if you could see, if they'll ask for build array, you can click on build array. And then what you need to do is, first click is selecting the point of the component. Okay, the second point will be where you need the component to be placed. Okay, I'm selecting this point, and the third is the distance of the line. I'm pressing this, so you can see what happened. You will get 10 columns being placed on it within no time. So that is what this array tool does. You can try the okay, you can try the remaining three options. Like you can go to this and you can place the fixed distance option and also build array. Okay, you can select on the first point of this and then create I need a line before that. You create a line here. Okay, you can go select this array, linear array, and you can opt for the second option, build array. You can click on the first point, second point, and then the third point. So this is what it does. So there are like different options that you can select and basically create the array or the linear array. Similarly, you have something called a two-dimensional array, or also known as a rectangle array. Okay, so what that does is that if you have a rectangle surface like this, you want this rectangle columns to be made throughout this area. So what you do is, you can select on the component, and then you can go to create two-dimensional array, and then you can create the column distance is mentioned, number of columns or number of rows that is to be created. You can create it as like 5 rows, also 5, and then you can build array. So what you have is, first point, second point will determine the x direction, and the third point determines the y direction of it. So you can see it evenly places, makes an array within no time. Okay, that is what it does. Fine. So that is what the array tool is about. Any doubts till now? Okay, no doubts. I'll go forward. Next is called the create array in a circular dimension. Circular means it will create the component in a circular manner. For example, if you click on this on the component that you have and tell it to create an array, it will show a you will get to see something like you will get a dialog box like this, and then it will be asking for the angle. Okay, what you want, if you want it to be filled within 180-degree angle, or will we want you want the circle to be completely filled 360-degree or not. So I'm just typing 360-degree here, and then number of entities between. So I just want like 5 entities to be there, and the distance, and the you can have it raised as well. Okay, each component, for example, I have one component here, the second component will be 5000 mm up than the third component, and so on. Like I'll just keep it like 1000 now, and then I will try to build array. So now what will ask is, it will ask for the first column, first point. So I can give the first point, and the second point is basically the direction through which you want this array to be formed, whether it is in z axis or in y axis or in z axis. Okay, so now I'll just create it on this y axis so you can see what happens. So you can see that this basically created five elements in 360-degree, four elements in 360-degree fashion. Okay, that is what it does. You can also see that it starts giving the height as well for this. Basically from the starting point till the end point, it basically started giving a height as well. Okay, of 1000 mm. Okay, so that is what it does. It starts rotating as well. If you guys want it to be more interesting, you guys can just take it. I'll show you one more option. Like you go to create array. If you just increase it to 30, and I'm telling it to build, like I'm just changing this to 5000 and telling it to build array. First point, I'm creating the second point out here. You can see what it did. Got it? So that this is what this array could do. Fine. You guys can try exploring it more, the way it is going to function. Fine. Till now, any doubts? No? Okay, then I'll go on to something like a proper architectural stuff. Okay, that is, if you have a plinth is, let it be the base of the home. Let it be 500 by 500, 5000 by 5000. I'm having a box. I'm just making the copy of it like this, just copying it with the help of control and the move button, and I'm just creating a, a, a plinth or the base of the house to be like this. Okay, of our house to be in this shape. Cool. I need a wall out here. So normally the method what I told you is that I need to have the rectangle tool, create a create something like a rectangle box of 230 mm by 230 mm, then push pull it like 230 comma 230, and then I need to push pull this 3000 mm with the help of the push pull tool, and then I need to again push pull it so as to create. So you will require this much steps so as to create a wall if you don't use this plugin. So the easy method is that I'm undoing it, is that you have something called a wall tool here. Build vertical walls and sectional profiles. If you click it, it will ask for you what you need the thickness of the wall to be. Normal wall's thickness is 230 mm. The height of the wall is 3000 mm. So I'm keeping it like that. Then it will ask you how you want it to be aligned. That is the point, the wall to be at the exterior of this surface, or should it be in the mid of it, or should it be in the interior of this plinth. Okay, so now I will click what? I will click on the left, that is the I want it to be in the exterior part of this house, or this base. And then I will do is I will just click build wall, and then just start clicking around the points that it is there. Okay, you can see that it starts creating the wall, and where you ends, just double click it. So you can see that it formed the wall within no time. So, and one more advantage is that the wall will be in a group. So you don't need to fear that any other component is going to be placed on it, is gonna get stuck as well. So this is a really useful wall tool that is used. Okay. So this is about the wall tool. Any doubts on wall tool? Okay. No means we will go to something called creating openings. This is used where you want to create a window or a door. Okay. For creating window or a door, you can just click on this point. Then it will ask you what is the what is the size of your window that you need to provide. Normal window height is around height is 1200, and I'm also giving the width also 1200. Okay, and I'm telling it to create the opening. Then what you need to do is you need to give a reference point, first point. Then you need to take it to the second point where you are going to click it, and then you need to raise it. Raising distance is, that is a sill level, that is 1000. You can just type it and press enter. So you can see that the opening is formed. So this is how you could basically form the openings for the windows in no time in SketchUp. Fine. So this is the easiest shortcut method which is used rather than taking the tool from the warehouse. But this will not get applied in curved walls. That is why I am just telling it in straight walls. This is really easy. It could be done. In the other method would be used for the puncturing of the walls in the curved walls. Okay, you can't use this plugin out there. Fine. Till this, any doubts? I'll show you once more. You need a reference point, first point. Second point will be how much distance you want it from that reference point, and the third will be the height. You can either just click at the place where you need, or you can just type in the height of the sill that you are 1000 mm and then press it. You can see the windows get placed. Fine. So this is how you make the opening of the windows. Now if you want to give frame to this window, what to be done is double click, go inside, just with the rectangle tool create a surface. Okay, okay, then what you need to do is there is something here called create window frame. Okay, select the rectangle and just click on create window frame. It will show something like this. For with this you can create different styles. Okay, there are a lot many are there. Rectangle with recessed frame, whichever type of window you want to make, you can make here. You can type the depth. Now it is a 230 mm wall. You can type 230 mm, and then you can this. There's also dimensions mentioned. How much recessed you want? How much should be the bevel? How much should be the window frame location from the intersecting wall? Okay, so this is also made. So normally keep this back, okay, to be selected back, and then create frame. You can see the frame is created for the opening as well. Fine. So you can just go inside and also give the materials like the glass, and also you can give the material of wood or so for the frame. Okay, and then go out. So this is how you could give the windows in it in a shortcut method. Okay, really fast method. Fine. Similarly, you can give for doors as well. Just make the size of the door. Okay, and then what you need to do is you have an option of create door frames here. After just side of this, you have a create door frame. Just click on it. You will have what is the depth that is required, what is the resistance or the, and the stuffs which is mentioned here. The dimensions you can change. Normally, what is the standard size are normally kept here. You can change the frame depth according to the size of the wall that you have, and then you just click for a door frame. You will see that you will have the door made as well. Okay, so this is the fastest method that you can use so as to create doors and windows. Any doubts? No doubts? Okay, I'm audible, right? Can someone confirm it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, cool. So you have made something like this. Next is called grooves. You want to make a groove. Groove means you want to make something like a something like you want to create some recession in the wall so as to create some design element. Okay, that lines or the grooves that is made create something like a horizontal element that would cause articulation to the building. Okay, so that could be done as by the method is that you can go to the wall that you want to create a surface with the help of the rectangle tool where you want this recession or the groove to be made, then you can select it. You can create the option just side of the create opening, that's known as a create groove lines. If you click it, it will ask this is how what a groove is. Okay, and you can basically create the groove. You can also type the number of groove you want. I am just placing it 10 because, and then what you need to do is create groove. It will ask for the start point. You can need the start point, then it will ask whether you want to soften the edges. You can give either yes or no according to the wish. I just gave yes, so that now you can see that there is something like a groove or a hollow being formed. So from outside, if you could see that, you have seen in some contemporary buildings this design coming up. So that is what this groove does. Basically it is used as an aesthetic purpose, so as to create a sort of articulation. Like it basically cuts down the linearity of the building into several horizontal fragments. Okay, that's what this is used about. And second is, next we will look into something called a divided selected face into panels. So this is used if you want a window with mullions, or if you want windows with partitions. Okay, so if I have a rectangle made here, okay, let it be a full window like this on the wall. I want a full window through entirely through this surface. So I just made a surface or rectangle on the wall, selected that, and then click on divide selected faces into panels. Okay, you will come across such an option. Just how much rows you want, how much columns you want, you can decide. Now if I'm typing 5 by 3, okay, and then I'm trying to create, then check whether the frame depth is 230 mm because of the wall is 230 mm, and then you can just create the frame. You can see what happened. It will create a window, or a window that is in 5 by 3. Okay, 5 columns, 5 rows by 3 columns. Okay, so it will basically create such a window very fast. Okay, so that is what is the method for you to create um, a partitioned window, or the window with different millions or so. Okay, so that is the method for creating windows of different segments or so. Till this, any doubts? No? Cool. Then we will move into something called create grills, gratives, or perforations in the screen. So this is a really interesting tool, because I'll tell you, if you make a rectangle on the wall, if you want punctures in the wall, like you want to create some rectangle surface on it, you just select it, create the grill. You can basically form this sort of grooves onto it. You can also change the angle of it into 45. Okay, so that this rectangle square basically changes. You can basically see what is the height and the depth of it, and you can just make a screen of it. So you can see that some punctured hold wall screen is being formed. So now you can go, you can go to this, you can just make a rectangle box. I could make a, I am making a pattern. Okay, let it be a circular pattern. Okay, I'm not making it too much. Make it a group, and then what you need to do is you need to make a jali of the circle. Let it be. Okay, I'm just create grills. Then you can go to setup profile out here. Just make the screen thickness to be 230 because the wall thickness is 230. Okay, and you can go to setup profile and select on this. So you can see what happened. This circle becomes the pattern. So you can make any different patterns that you like, and select on it. Okay, and it will create it as well. Cool. Any surface that you have, you can basically select it, make it, and then just select on the profile, and you will basically get it. Till now, any doubts? Okay. Similarly, in the same method can be used so as to create something like a louvers and fins on your profile. I am just making two rectangles out here. Select it. There is again an option as horizontal louvers. If you select it, you will have like our rectangle box stuffs that just goes and creates louvers. You can change the angle of the louvers. Depth is 230 because of the wall depth, thickness of them. Okay, and the spacing between them as well. And then just type create louvers. You can see a louver is being formed. Okay, that is facing downwards. Then you can also create the horizontal louvers, also known as pins, by typing 230, the depth of it, and also creating it. Okay, so these are some components that are there in our architecture that is really required. Okay, some stuffs that are required to be made, but the problem is that we don't have a plugin that helps you to create these stuffs. Okay, so you need to individually make this. If you guys want to make this individually, how much time will be taken? It basically got reduced by half. No, yeah, not half, 1/10, I guess. Or else you need to make each this components. Okay, so which is gonna be really difficult. Fine, so that is what this plugin helps you. So this plugins, most of the stuff has been done, and now I will go to just this last two. This is the most interesting and the most useful for you, because this helps in creating something called a hip roof or a sloping roof, which could be really difficult for any person in general to make. Okay, if you are sketching and if you are doing it yourself, it will take hell lot of time. Okay, so this software helps you in creating the hip roof within no time. So I'm just copying the floor that we have here. Okay, I'm just copying the floor. Okay, then what you need to do is select this and just create automatically create hip roof. Make sure that your hip, the selected surface, does not have any cuttings, or like you don't have any separations. Okay, like this, just make sure it doesn't, it's not there, and it is a single surface like this. And then just select the surface and create hip roof, and it will ask for a overhang is nothing but it is the extension so as to from your wall, so that um, the roof and your wall does not touch each other at the same edge. Because when raining happens or so, what happens is this water that is coming out here will start going down through the wall, so it will damage the wall. So that you need to provide a overhang or a projection that is required. So it will ask for the projections amount. So you normally it is like 700 to 400 mm. You can type 700, and then you can you can also create the angle of your pitch roof that you require. Okay, you can just type create hip roof. You can see you just created the hip roof within no time. And this is really interesting. It makes sure that you are having a hip roof that does not have any water stagnants that is gonna happen in between. Okay, like if you have a point, sometimes when you design personally, sometimes you will start creating a surface that will be having somewhere a water stagnant. For example, if I am giving you such a surface to be creating, and telling you to make a sloping roof for this, I am sure most of you will not be able to make, including myself, will not be able to make that fast. Okay, so what we normally do is just select the surface, go to this hitched roof, and then just do create hitch roof. You can see it creates the best sloping roof possible in that method. Okay, so it is gonna create a really visually pleasing sloping roof as well. Okay, so if I had asked you to build, I am sure that no one would be able to build such a design and such a proper sloping roof. Okay, so this is what this plugin, or the last plugin, that is automatic layered hip roof, does, and this is really useful. And then one more plugin is known as the create a rafter plugin, which is useful when you want to create the exploded view. If you want a rafter and purlins of this to be made, what you need to do is copy your made made group, just go inside, just delete the down part, just select on create, and then just keep create purlins. You can see it just created the rafter as well. We just need to go inside the group and just need to select it, select everything, and just needed to click on this button. It just created the purlins as well that is required. I am sure that it will be really difficult for you to make this individually. Okay, so that is what this tool does. So you got the interior rafter, that is rafters and purlins, along with the hip roof, and then you got block the models down as well. So this is the use of this plugin. Okay, this is the this last two will be really useful, especially the last tool, that is the create automatic create hip proof, is really useful. So you guys can use it in your projects or so. Okay, so any doubts till now? Okay, no doubts means today's class is finished.